From Terry Silver dramatically escaping from jail to the future of the dojo, Cobra Kai Season 5 has it all. With the announcement trailer for Season 6 just coming out, the fans have a lot of questions. Let's take a look at the biggest of the bunch. Starting with, who's going to take over Cobra Kai? This is probably one of the biggest questions that fans have had ever since the end of the 5th season. I mean, the show's named after the school, so you can be sure that it's going to be playing a pretty big role in the upcoming season.
Cobra Kai now has more students than ever before. That means we'll need more senseis.
But over the course of the show, it's gone through a lot of different characters. With Johnny opening it for the first time, then it was taken over by John Kreese in the very same season. Things took a much more intense role when Terry Silver took over the role of head sensei after betraying Kreese.
Oh my, it's been a long time. Oh, I'd say you're keeping well, but all evidence to the contrary.
That's what happens when someone burns your life to the ground.
Considering how bad Johnny's experience has been, it's doubtful that he'd come back even though everyone wants that. Plus, Silver escaped from prison and is probably going to want to be head sensei again. While there's going to be a huge battle for the spot, there's not a lot that Season 5 said about who could possibly take over. But it's certainly exciting to know that there's a chance that one of the good guys might finally have a chance to make things right. I mean, no one wants kids to learn martial arts for evil reasons, right?
What are you doing here? You didn't think you could hide from me forever, did you? What are you gonna do, break my arm too? You let that happen.
You didn't even fight back. You just went home and cried to Mommy.
Well, Mommy's not here.
With that said, I have to talk about John Kreese's redemption. The character has been the bad guy in the Karate Kid universe from as far back as you and I can remember. He's that iconic to the franchise.
An enemy deserves no mercy. What is the problem, Mr. Lawrence?
Hey, come on, let's forget this. Wait, not yet.
Though there's no denying that he's committed some incredibly horrifying acts, even though he might have done them for the dojo itself, that's not an excuse that fans are just going to let slide by. But another thing that you can't deny is that he really does care about Johnny and the dojo. Is it finally time for him to learn from his mistakes and be more positive?
No, realist. I know my time is almost up. And I'm gonna spend my last days in here.
Surely the show wouldn't just keep on going without caring about his character development just because it has always been a certain way. Plus, one of the biggest themes that the show has going for itself is that everyone is capable of redemption. And the end of Season 5 showed everyone that the character might just be capable of that. I mean, they've been setting up his backstory in order to make you care about him for a long time. I'd say it's high time for some redemption. It surely would change things up a lot and could set the show up for a really wholesome ending. On the other hand, though, what's up with Terry Silver?
Not bad, Taguchi. But now, time to find out what you're really made of.
I mean, seriously, what's the deal with this guy? Even though he went to prison, he's somehow still the owner of the dojo. Even if Kreese or someone else manages to get back control of it, there's no denying that he's made a lot of investments in the dojo. So there's no real way to actually get rid of him and his influence on the place. Plus, there's no way they'd still make him the villain, despite that incredible fight he had against Daniel, right?
Now This is where Miyagi-Do ends.
Miyagi-Do existed before any of us. It'll be around long after we're gone. The roots are strong, so the tree will survive.
It felt like it gave the plot some conclusion, so it's very likely that they end up going down the whole redemption arc for this character as well. Where else could they even go with him? If they bring him on as the villain again, it would just invalidate the entirety of Season 5. While most people are thinking about how he's going to be in the upcoming season, there are also fans who are questioning whether he's even going to be in it.
I never had any children. My only legacy is Cobra Kai. We're already the #1 dojo in the valley, but I'm thinking a lot bigger than just the valley.
There's a high chance that because of his legal troubles and whatnot, he simply isn't going to be able to do anything related to the dojo. Instead, he might just be too busy hiding out. But there's one question that I'm dying to know the answer to. What happens to Chozen and Kumiko? Does it get more exciting than this? I think not. I mean, considering how you've known Chozen as a villain for so long, the show finally gave him a chance to show off his personality.
Not likely. Silva very dangerous. Yeah, I know. But I'm ready for him this time, and I can be dangerous too.
Daniel-san told me how dangerous you can be.
And that he's a normal human who's just conflicted. But now, he's been trying his best to be his best version, though while he was in Japan to recenter, he ended up meeting once again with Kumiko.
So, you married, kids?
No wife, no kids.
Oh, I have total freedom. Master of your domain. You ever see Seinfeld?
With the two of them actually becoming friends. Who could have seen this one coming? Fast forward to the latest season where he's already confessed that he's in love with her, though not to her face. At least not directly. He did leave a voicemail telling her about how he felt, though it was kind of while he was drunk, only slightly. The two are perfect together, and the previous season ended with some of the biggest questions ever. So obviously, fans are super interested to know more about their romance and if Kumiko actually reciprocates his feelings. The two definitely are a great match for one another. Are you finally going to see a happy ending for them? Or is it the calm before the storm? Speaking of romance, there's no way I can't mention Sam and Miguel. Of course, I'm going to be talking about one of the longest, if not the longest running romances on the entire show. The two first started dating in the first season, but then things got really complicated. Ever since then, season 2 to be exact, they've had a pretty on and off relationship with one another. But the end of season 5 finally gave fans some hope that there might be a meaningful and satisfying conclusion to their romance. I mean, they even kissed and put all their differences aside this time. It has to work out this time, right? But nothing is for sure until the upcoming season is actually out. So it's pretty understandable why fans want an answer to this question so eagerly. With that said, what's next for Carmen and Johnny's ever-growing family? The end of season 5 really surprised everyone out there. No one even thought that they'd be having a baby together, but that's far from the entire family. The incredible relationship that they share with Miguel and Johnny makes them more than just a part of the family. So it's pretty obvious why fans are asking, what is going to happen to them? Are they going to get the happy ending they deserve, or are things about to get really rough for all of them? I mean, can things even get worse? Especially after the stress Carmen has been under because of Cobra Kai. And that brings me to one last fight between Johnny and Daniel. There isn't a single fan out there that doesn't want to see the two battle it out one last time. I mean, I know for a fact that I do. Their rivalry is absolutely legendary, going back all the way to the first film. So of course everyone wants to see a good conclusion to it, especially since almost every single time they fought, they're mostly pretty evenly matched. So it usually ends up in either a draw or has to be separated by force. Even the time that they did end up knocking each other out, they did it at the exact same time. That's how good both of them are. The show really needs to once and for all show just who the stronger fighter is in the Karate Kid universe. It's an answer that most fans have been asking for actual decades now. That's been a look into some of the biggest questions that Cobra Kai Season 6 needs to answer.